Okay, it really seems like the Ripple XRP versus SEC case is about to come to an end. And this isn't just speculation, it's everywhere. Talks have been circulating for weeks, but now it's starting to feel real. If we check Twitter, we'll see the same narrative trending nonstop over the past few hours. Analysts, legal experts, and crypto influencers are all weighing in, and the consensus is growing. Something big is about to go down. And let's be honest, this moment has been a long time coming. The SEC versus Ripple lawsuit has dragged on for so long that it almost felt like it would never end. But here we are, right on the edge of a potential settlement. Sources indicate that negotiations have zeroed in on a $125 million fine, along with possible restrictions on future XRP sales. Of course, Ripple's legal team isn't just sitting back and accepting whatever the SEC throws at them. They're pushing for more favorable terms, fighting for a resolution that doesn't cripple the company's future. But at this stage, one thing is clear: both parties seem ready to wrap this up. The back-and-forth legal battles, the years of uncertainty, it all looks like it's finally reaching a conclusion. Now, let's put this into perspective. This lawsuit has dragged on for years that have left XRP holders stuck in an exhausting cycle of hope and disappointment. One moment, there's an explosive rally, XRP surges, and excitement is in the air. Then, just as quickly, the SEC swoops in, makes a move, and the price gets smacked back down. It's been a game of whiplash, a constant push and pull that's drained investors and tested their patience. But now, with settlement talks actively in motion, there's finally some light at the end of the tunnel. And make no mistake, this lawsuit has been a massive burden on Ripple. Even with all its groundbreaking partnerships, technological advancements, and real-world utility, uncertainty has always been the dark cloud hanging over the company. Investors have hesitated, unsure whether to go all in or stay on the sidelines. Major exchanges delisted XRP, cutting off crucial liquidity and limiting accessibility for retail investors. The entire crypto space has been watching this case like a high-stakes courtroom drama, knowing that whatever happens here will have consequences far beyond just Ripple. But if a settlement is reached, that changes everything. It could be the moment that finally removes the shackles from XRP and allows it to move freely in the market again. It could pave the way for relisting on major exchanges, restoring confidence among institutional investors, and potentially triggering the kind of breakout that XRP holders have been waiting for. This isn't just about Ripple winning a legal battle, it's about the future of crypto regulation, investor confidence, and whether the industry as a whole can finally push forward without the constant looming threat of the SEC's unpredictable enforcement actions. Because let's be honest, this case was never just about Ripple. It's been about the entire crypto market, and the outcome here could set a precedent that will ripple, no pun intended, through the industry for years to come. But here's the million-dollar question: what happens next? Seriously, what does this mean for XRP and the broader crypto market? If Ripple pays the fine and moves forward, does that mean XRP is finally free from the SEC's grasp? Does this open the door for major exchanges to relist XRP without hesitation? And the biggest question of all, will we finally see the explosive breakout that XRP holders have been waiting for, not just for months, but for years? Because let's be real, XRP has been one of the most hotly debated cryptocurrencies, and this lawsuit has held it back in ways we can't even quantify. The moment that legal weight is lifted, the floodgates could open. And this isn't just about Ripple winning a case and cutting a check. No, this is about the entire crypto industry and what this settlement signals for the future of regulation. Because if Ripple gets through this with a relatively fair outcome, it changes the game. It shifts the balance of power between regulators and crypto companies. It could prove that crypto projects can fight back instead of just rolling over when the SEC comes knocking. Now, let's break down what's actually happening with this settlement. Reports suggest Ripple may agree to pay a fine, but it's actively pushing back against certain restrictions. And let's be honest, that makes total sense. If Ripple were to just roll over and accept whatever terms the SEC throws at them, it wouldn't just hurt XRP. It would set a dangerous precedent for the entire crypto industry. It would signal that regulators can come after any project, demand an arbitrary fine, impose restrictions, and get away with it. That's not the future anyone in crypto wants. And let's not forget, this lawsuit has never been just about protecting investors. If that were the case, why did the SEC wait years before taking action? Why did they let XRP trade freely for so long before suddenly deciding to crack down? The reality is that this case has been about power, control, and making an example out of Ripple. If Ripple agrees to a settlement but manages to avoid crippling restrictions, it could be one of the biggest wins in crypto history. Because the SEC hasn't just gone after Ripple. They've been aggressively targeting crypto as a whole, filing lawsuits against Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, and other major players. Their strategy has been clear: regulate by enforcement. Instead of setting clear rules, they've been taking projects to court and hoping legal battles will shape the future of the industry. But here's where it gets interesting. If Ripple secures a fair settlement without excessive restrictions, it could send a strong message to the industry. It could prove that standing your ground, fighting back, and demanding clarity actually works. And that could inspire other crypto projects to challenge the SEC instead of settling out of fear. Think about it. What happens if more companies start pushing back? What happens if Congress steps in and finally forces regulatory agencies to establish clear guidelines for crypto? This case could be the catalyst that sparks a regulatory shift. So, the next few weeks are absolutely critical. Will Ripple get a fair deal? Will XRP finally be free? And more importantly, will this settlement force regulators to change their approach to crypto altogether? We're about to find out. But let's take a step back for a second. How did Ripple even end up in this mess? Why did the SEC suddenly decide to come after XRP while letting other cryptos operate freely for years? To understand what's happening now, we need to rewind to December 2020, the moment everything changed. Back then, the SEC dropped a bombshell lawsuit, accusing Ripple of selling XRP as an unregistered security. And they didn't just file a quiet legal complaint. They went all in, hitting Ripple with a lawsuit that shook the entire crypto market. Almost overnight, XRP's price took a nosedive, dropping over 50% in days. Major exchanges, including Coinbase, rushed to delist it, fearful of regulatory backlash. And just like that, one of the biggest cryptocurrencies in the world was thrown into legal limbo. For Ripple, this wasn't just a lawsuit, it was an all-out war. The company spent years fighting back, and along the way, its legal team scored some major victories. One of the biggest came when a judge ruled that XRP itself is not a security when sold on secondary markets. That was a game changer. It wasn't just a win for Ripple, it set a legal precedent for the entire crypto industry, helping other projects argue against being classified as securities. But despite these wins, the lawsuit still dragged on, casting a shadow over XRP's price. Every time Ripple secured a small legal victory, XRP would pump, sometimes by double digits. But every time there was a delay, the hype faded, and the price dipped again. It's been a constant cycle of hope, frustration, and waiting. And now, after more than 3 years of this roller coaster, settlement talks are finally heating up. For the first time, there's real hope that this saga could come to an end. But here's the catch. Just because a settlement is on the table doesn't mean the fight is completely over. It all depends on the terms. If Ripple gets hit with harsh restrictions, like limits on future XRP sales or additional regulatory oversight, it could still be a problem. It might keep exchanges hesitant about relisting, and it could slow down XRP's adoption. But if Ripple only has to pay a fine without major limitations, that would be extremely bullish. It would clear the regulatory uncertainty that's been suppressing XRP for years. Think about it. Without the lawsuit hanging over its head, Ripple could finally focus on growth. Exchanges could relist XRP, institutional investors might jump in, and the price could finally reflect the true demand for the asset. And beyond just XRP, this case could shape the future of crypto regulation. If Ripple secures a favorable deal, it would prove that crypto companies can fight back and win. So, as these settlement talks unfold, the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about Ripple, it's about the entire crypto industry and what comes next. So, what does this mean for XRP's price? A favorable settlement could trigger a massive rally. Exchanges could relist XRP, institutions might feel comfortable investing again, and demand could surge. But if the settlement is restrictive, it might cap XRP's growth potential. This case is bigger than just Ripple, it's about crypto's future in the US. If Ripple emerges with a fair settlement, it could indicate the SEC's grip on crypto is loosening. Other projects might fight back instead of settling under pressure. But here's something else to consider. Could this be the beginning of broader crypto regulation? Governments worldwide are taking crypto regulations more seriously. The US lags behind, but this case could push lawmakers to clarify the rules. And in the long run, that might be a good thing. Imagine a world where crypto companies don't constantly fear lawsuits, where clear rules allow projects to innovate without worrying about regulators coming after them years later. That's the environment blockchain needs to thrive, and we're getting closer every day. Some argue that Ripple should have registered XRP as a security from the start. But the laws weren't clear when XRP launched, and the SEC's inconsistent approach has only added confusion. That's why this case is so important. So, what's next for XRP? If the settlement is finalized, we could see a price explosion. More importantly, this could pave the way for crypto to be recognized as a legitimate asset class, free from legal uncertainty. And that, my friends, could change everything. What do you think? Are we about to see XRP's biggest breakout yet, or is there still turbulence ahead? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you're excited about crypto's future, hit that like button and subscribe for more updates. Because this story is far from over. And here's the wild part. This isn't just about XRP. The outcome of this case could shape how the US government treats crypto long-term. If Ripple gets a fair settlement, it sets a precedent that might force regulators to rethink their approach. That's why everyone is watching closely, because this decision could either open the doors for crypto or tighten the restrictions even further.